All week, we've been talking about changing course, when to do it, when not to do it, how it works, why. Today, we're going to talk about the benefits. But before I get Tom to run that nice little intro, think about what's one benefit of changing course that you've seen or you've considered. See if that matches our list. All that and more coming up on today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, except as you can maybe you can hear, I have a cricket somewhere that's
Sounds like more than one.
Gotten into the office and seems to be a little frustrated. So we're going to have to deal with that all morning.
It's not so loud right now.
Okay, that's good.
So,
just for me, I guess.
So you know how Saturday Night Live does their openings, and for some reason they call them the cold openings, that first 4, 5, 7 minutes. I guess the audience is cold or whatever. I feel like I did a cold opening today because literally, how long did I know our topic before that opening? 6, 7 seconds?
Well, yes. Although a lot of times our subtopics kind of rotate.
Don't ruin it. They do follow a course.
Sometimes we mix it up. So anyhow, everyone, good morning.
Because I'm ready to talk about those benefits.
You ready to talk about the benefits of changing course?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. Everyone, good morning and welcome to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast. Each week, each day of the week, we have a conversation around the topic. Our topic this week, as we mentioned, is changing course, and we'll be talking today about the benefits. And as we go through that conversation, if you have thoughts or ideas that you would like to share, please feel free to put them in the comments of whatever social media you happen to be following, whether that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or
LinkedIn Live, baby.
Yes, LinkedIn Live. Because we know that it'll add value to our conversation and might be the thought and idea that someone else is looking for. And then at the end of our conversation, Bob and I will each offer our one thing, our today's antidote. The thing that we hope may help you today, or maybe somewhere down the road when you are stuck, figure out how to take your next step along your own unique pathway to success. So you can also share your one thing if you have it, because we know that all of us have value to share, and what you share might be exactly what someone else is looking for or may need. So please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas as we go through it, because we know that it'll help our show. Before we dive into our conversation around our topic today, though, we share our celebrations. So, Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I am celebrating the Instant Pot. Yes, the Instant Pot. I bought one of these a couple years ago. It is so great. I made a marvelous bourbon meatball dinner last night with the Instant Pot, and it took me maybe 4 minutes to prep it. And the payoff was beautiful bourbon meatballs that very tangy, sweet, little spice. Yum.
Good for you.
Yes, yes. And when you're trying to impress someone with your culinary skills, that helps.
The Instapot is the way to go.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So maybe you should open up a restaurant and all the food has to be Instapot cooked.
I could do that. It's really not hard. Now, I've made other things with it, and the hard part is you have to cut everything up.
That's
Dicing
the hard
and
part.
Slicing and all that. That's the hard part. Like I've made beef stew. You spend 25 minutes, 30 minutes cutting stuff up. You drop it in there. You let it go for like 45 minutes. Very good. But cutting is the workout. But that's really true of all cooking. The prep is the work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So what are you celebrating, Tom?
So I'm going to celebrate that yesterday we had this all-day workshop that I talked about yesterday. Not workshop, sort of planning session. And then I had to run one of the participants to the airport, came back, went to the gym, And when I got back from the gym, it was just a beautiful night out. Like, it wasn't like there was this amazing sunset, or it was just the right, the kind of the correct temperature where it was just really nice to sit outside. So I got to sit outside and grill and just enjoy the early evening. And so I'm going to celebrate a quiet night on my back porch cooking dinner.
Nice. Hey, folks, if you're celebrating something, why don't you put it in the comments? It can be big or small. We'd love to see it. Really love to see it. It helps inspire people. It helps us take notice of things. Like, I saw the sunset last night, but I didn't think about the temperature until Tom just brought it up. And it also is a way to build a network with other people. If you share an interest, someone might respond to you and be like, oh, I saw that, or, oh yeah, that was a great movie. So it's a great opportunity to build your network at no charge, right there, right now.
Just by sharing your celebration. And there are other ways to build your network as well. And we're going to be announcing one of those ways, something that we've been working on for the Renegade Success Network. We'll make an announcement about that early next week. And we look forward to sharing that value with you. So, Bob, as we dive into our topic this week about changing course, today we're going to talk about the benefits. You were all excited about this, so have at it.
All right, I'm going to go. It's going to be real quick, real simple. I don't think there are any negative aspects of changing course. How's that for a discovery? But we'll get to that tomorrow on Discoveries of the Week. But whenever we change course, we move closer to figuring something out, because that helps us better look at situations, because we have new experience, new perspectives, new knowledge. And that brings us to a more robust ability to make the next decision and the decision after that. So I think there are some very topical benefits that, if you're in a bad situation, it certainly can make the situation better. If you're in an awkward position with some other employee or boss, it can make things better when you make a course correction. But I'm really coming to the thought this week that there's really no negatives to changing course, which is so counter to the risk averse me.
Okay. I would agree that there are no negatives, because negative is not a word that
then they're all benefits. If there are no
to
negatives, they're all benefits.
I'm not going to, I don't know. It's all different.
Okay.
Because what happens if you just keep changing course all the time without taking the time to understand the change you just made? I think that's one of the challenges, is that sometimes we just make change for change's sake. And
didn't we do challenges one other day this week?
We did.
Okay.
So I'm just sharing that I think that there are a lot of benefits, and I would agree that there are no negatives. It's just different. I think one of the benefits is that you get to understand things differently if you take the time to do that. I think one of the things people sometimes forget is to understand why they're making the change and what value has been added from the change, and what value was added before the change was made. I think so often sometimes we forget about that as well. And I think that the change, yes, brings new things to us. And I think one of the new things is that it brings a better understanding of what we were doing before. That I think so often we'd consider the benefits as the results that we get, rather than the knowledge that we discover from what we have now done differently than before.
Right. Like, I think of a great example for us. Remember when we were trying to use Clubhouse?
Yes.
And we for a good month, we really committed to that. And that was a course change, not replacing it, but adding it. And after a couple of weeks, we started to look at it and say, well, you know what? This works better the way we've been doing it. We should probably stop doing that. And I think that was 2 course corrections, right? One was changing course to try that, and the other was changing course to terminate it. And I think that I certainly appreciated what we do on the other platforms a whole lot more after that experience. I saw where the opportunities were for us in clearer language because I had this comparison, right? If you only get hamburgers at Burger King, let's say, but you get stuck going to McDonald's one time and you have a Big Mac and suddenly you realize, wow, that sauce they put on there is really good. I wish Burger King did that. Now you have more information. You can either like Burger King or you can go, I'm going to go to McDonald's more often now. And by the way, Burger King, McDonald's, that was a nice free ad. Feel free to sponsor us in any way you deem appropriate. And I will be happy to promote the Big Mac on this program every morning.
So you're not really promoting Burger King, since you talked about the Big Mac and you talked about the sauce that McDonald's has that Burger King doesn't.
I was trying to be fair. I do have one that I prefer, but that's it. And if you paid attention, you probably see it.
You could understand that, sure.
Yeah.
No, I think you have a chance to just understand the different opportunities that are out there, and I think that's again one of the things I would consider as a benefit is that not only do we learn about what we have done, we have a chance to explore and find out what other options are out there. Not just thinking one is the only way to go. I think back when I was trying to lose weight, I tried one method. It was really cutting calories and working out. And that had results. I got results. And then I changed to a little bit different. It was more about what I was eating rather than the number of calories I was eating and working out. And my results were significantly different. And I lost a significantly more amount of weight in a quicker amount of time. And, and I think that you can go through and understand that there are multiple ways to do things. And that sometimes the way that you're doing it, even though things are going what you would describe as well, you're getting the results you thought, there still might be other ways that you can do it to get even different results that may be more. They might be getting the results quicker. You might be getting more results or larger results. And so I think that, one of the benefits of changing course is that you get to discover new options that are out there, whether you would qualify your success as positive or negative.
Wow.
So what's your one thing?
My one thing I think is that as we look at the benefits of changing course, I think that we have the opportunity to change course. And I think of points in my life where I didn't have the opportunity to change course. And I was in a situation where I was told what to do and there was no variation. There was it was, you're going to do it this way or this way. For instance, at McDonald's, you're not going to change the way you make the Big Mac. It's just not going to happen. You'll do that about twice before they tell you the back door's there, leave your smock and go. So I think one of the benefits of being able to change course is the fact that we can change course, that we have that freedom. And I don't know that I really thought that through until just this minute.
Well, because we always have that choice, correct? You could leave.
But it could come at more significant consequences. I certainly think that now that I'm older, I have a lot more ability to change course in my life with a lot less. What am I trying to say, Tom? I know you would. With a lot less consequence. That's the word I was looking for. Consequence.
It's just that fascinates me. It honestly does. It's an interesting.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead, please. I feel like
I just think
talk
as
me
I
through
mentioned
this.
yesterday, because you sort of said the same thing yesterday, or a variation of that, of how you feel like you're more able to change course now than before. And I think so many people think that, wow, when we're younger, less responsibilities, that we have a greater opportunity to change course and the impact won't be as great. That once you get older, you have different responsibilities. And so it seems to be more difficult to change course. Obviously, that's not the case for you, which is, I think, an interesting thing to consider, is that maybe there's always the opportunity to change course. And what we believe based on our knowledge, experience, and perspective, whether it's easier when we're younger or easier when we're older. It's just what's real for each of us. When in reality, that usually means that it is always a possibility as long as we're willing to consider it.
I like that.
Although that's not my one thing.
Okay, I'm ready. What's your one thing?
My one thing is sort of the flip side of yours. One of the benefits of changing course is you can always go back.
Okay.
Is that it doesn't mean that you are completely closing off what you have done before. You are just trying something different and trying to explore what are the benefits of it. And if you chose to go back to the way you were doing things, you'll actually be doing it just a little bit different because you have new knowledge, experience, and perspective. And that value gained from changing course usually allows you to go back to something else and be further ahead, further closer to what you were trying to achieve than you were before you changed course.
Ooh.
That makes any sense?
A little bit. Yeah.
You're not sure about it though, huh?
I'm still wrestling with mine and what you told me about mine. To tell you the truth, you got me thinking.
Well, I just think that one of the benefits is that we always have the option to change course, even if we think we don't. That's just a mindset thing. That's just a belief that there is nothing else out there that'll provide what wherever our current situation is provides. And I think it's just different. We talked about it in the poll that you put out the other day in the Ring of Renegades about why are you unwilling to change, or what's the hardest thing for change? And I think all of those things that you wrote in, whether it's fear, worry, concern, thinking about making a quote unquote mistake, those are sometimes the things that keep us from that. And once we start to discover that, we can't tell the future, we aren't going to know what the difference is. And so we just have to be more comfortable saying, okay, I'm all right with change. And now we get a chance to discover all those things that might happen based on the change that we took, knowing that if we choose, we could go back. We both decided to not be in the corporate / working for someone else mode. And we've both been doing that for a number of years. Doesn't mean we couldn't go back to that. And likely if we did.
Are you trying to tell me something, Tom?
I'm not. I'm just sharing that is an option, that you could go back to what you had done before, and you would come back to it with a different knowledge, experience, and perspective, which might change the results that we got at that point. That's all. You're stuck. You don't know what to say, right?
There's so much not going on here. It's funny.
Yeah, I guess if I tried to wrap it all up, it's just the change is always a possibility, and that one of the real benefits is, as you said, we have the option to change, and we can always change back.
Right. No, most of the time, not always. I mean, if you leave a job, it's not always easy to go back.
Well, you might not. You're never going to go back to the exact situation.
Right.
Every day, you go back to a similar situation. It's not the same situation because your knowledge, experience, and perspectives has been changed, been influenced. Maybe a little, maybe a lot, but it's always changing. So maybe it's just inevitable that there is going to be change.
I think that is probably at the course will change whether you drive it or it drives you.
Interesting.
But we'll talk about that maybe tomorrow on our Discoveries of the Week. I can't wait.
Yes, Bob's favorite show. So thanks everybody much for being with us today. If you have something you'd like to share, your antidote, please feel free to put it in the comments. If you happen to be listening to the podcast, we know there's not an opportunity to do that. So we invite you to join us in our Ring of Renegades Facebook group and share your thoughts and ideas there. Because we'll be talking about changing course all week. And tomorrow, as Bob shared, we'll be doing our Discoveries of the Week on the show. And you'll have an opportunity to share your Discoveries of the Week around changing course or something else inside our Ring of Renegades Facebook group, where there will be a post that you can share your discoveries of the week that we know will add value to someone else as they are trying to figure out how to take their next step along their own unique pathway to success. So we look forward to seeing you inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, or we'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time, for our next episode of Today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegading you. It is so worth it.
It is. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to Today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.